Alright, just want to talk about the cast and kind of Power Rangers in general in this video. The cast looks pretty good. It's pretty diverse. That's the thing I've always liked about Power Rangers. They've always kind of had a diverse casting, regardless of ethnic background and things of that nature. They've always been willing to cast different type of people in their shows, and I like that a lot. Uh, and for the most part, Power Rangers has been adapted pretty well over here in America. But now Saban has the rights back to it, and they're going to be airing, Nickelodeon. I don't know the release date of it, but yeah, it is going to be on Nickelodeon. If I'm not mistaken, Nicktoons. I don't think it's Nicktoons though, but uh, yeah, it's going to be airing pretty soon. I think sometime at the end of this year, if not this year, maybe next year, early next year, they'll be airing it. And I got into a conversation with somebody. We were talking about Power Rangers, and if they're gonna bring it back, they're gonna have to do some new things with it. And I kind of talked about this in my other video when I did my update video on Saban getting the rights back and things I wanted to see and things I didn't want to see. Now with Power Rangers, I pretty much stuck with it for a while, and I kind of dropped off it, and I just pretty much watched the original Super Sentai series uh, because some of the stuff they did with the adapting I really didn't care for, so I just kind of left it alone. And with Power Rangers, they pretty much have been able to have a pretty decent audience, a pretty decent fan base. Whereas with something like Kamen Rider, they haven't been able to adapt that well over here because, in my personal opinion, I think putting it on, depending on what network you put it on, would would depend on how it prospers and if it's going to get a fan base, a new fan base, and whatnot. With Kamen Rider, they aired it on Dragon Knight. They aired that on CW, which I think was a bad idea because with that network, I mean, you really can't grab anybody from that network. They should have aired that on something like, uh, I don't know, Cartoon Network, since they're showing live action stuff now, or something like, even yeah, I would have said Nickelodeon as well. They could have aired that on Nickelodeon, but they aired it on CW and it didn't do so well. So, and it flopped here in America. But with Power Rangers, they're airing it on Nickelodeon. I think it's gonna prosper very well. But we were talking about different things that if they're gonna bring Power Rangers back, that they're gonna have to kind of mature it a little bit. And what I mean by mature, I don't mean you know uber realistic and all that, because let's face it, Power Rangers is pretty campy, but I still watch the show. I still keep up with it, and uh, it keeps my interest. The things we got into the conversation about was, with the Japanese versions, they've allowed blood, they've allowed death, and things of this nature in their series. Uh, and in America, they've kind of cut that stuff out. That's kind of the big difference between American television and Japanese television. Is, in Japan, they're kind of more accepting of showing things of violence and more mature things, even in kid shows. Whereas America, they pretty much just have that censorship thing. No, none of that stuff can be shown in American cartoons. And until recently, I think now that they're starting to be more lenient with stuff like, on Nickelodeon, like Avatar: The Last Airbender, which got away with a lot of stuff. There's been a lot of cartoons that have gotten away with a lot of things, such as Batman the Animated Series, Gargoyles, shows that are pretty dark and were able to hold their own and stay on television without the parents complaining too much about the different themes and stuff they were showing in the particular television series, whatever it was. But with Power Rangers, they pretty much just try to keep it kid friendly. With this, I'm hoping that they allow more stuff. With Saban kind of getting the rights back, I'm hoping that they allow more themes, more mature themes to be put into the show, like blood, death, and stuff like that. Because you know like I said, in the Japanese version, these characters actually get hurt, and some of them have even known to be killed. And I'm hoping that they do this time around. I know it's Nickelodeon, and it's probably not going to happen, but that's just some things that we get into a discussion about. A friend of mine, and we were just talking about how and what we want to see in this series. And if they bring it back, they're gonna have to do something new. They're gonna do something new. They're gonna have to bring a new twist to it. And those are just some of the things I was talking about, and I want to talk to you guys about and get your input, your thoughts on it. If anybody would like to do a video response, be welcome to. I'm always welcome to video responses, or just leave a comment like as usual. But I really want to get a discussion about this. Is with Power Rangers coming back on air, what are some of the things you guys want to see done with this series that's been different with the other ones? And try to be realistic. They're not gonna have people's heads exploding and stuff like that. It's a kids show, but again, what are some of the things they could do different? What are some of the things they could do better? To kind of not only, I know it's a kids show, but it's aimed at kids, but something pretty much anybody would be interested at looking into, and not be kind of thrown off by it. They can kind of sit there and go, oh, okay, this is actually okay writing. This is, not so bad acting, and they did a good job of adapting it. Because this is being adapted from Super Sentai Shinkenger. Shinkenger, I hope I'm pronouncing it right, which aired in 2009. And I really enjoyed that series. I did watch it, and it was very enjoyable. And, in that series, they explored a lot of themes, mature themes such as, blood and, even cursing and stuff like that they allow in those Super Sentai shows. But I know we're not going to get, language, that type of language in the American version. But I would like to see them kind of mature the franchise a little bit more. That's just my personal opinion. Like I said, feel free to do video responses. I want to get people's thoughts on this. And I'm going to leave it at that. I am out. Take it easy.